underway in the sunshine of the Dome. Hudson in the ruck, down to Walker. Good tackle by Goodwin. Bock in game number 50 comes in quick. Tackled, dumped, will get a ball up.
And that's put Gibbs back in the back half. He's been up in midfield but gone back again this week.
Hudson again got a fingernail on it, but right next to him was Kane Ackland. Another ball up.
And Ryan Houlihan has got the defensive job on Andrew McLeod, so he's playing half forward and he's got to try and stop the drive from half back from Andrew McLeod.
Goodwin got pushed after he got the handball out. So Simon Goodwin, the clearance for Adelaide, and he heads wide to Van Berlo. Strong hands on Simpson, who overcommitted. Left Van Berlo to go long to the goal square. All about the bounce. And it bounces through 4A behind.
It was a very poor effort by Simpson. Called that right, Dwayne. He needed to hold his opponent, then not go to ground.
Satanta O'Halpin to kick in from fullback for the Blues. He's improved so much they're allowing him to do one of the toughest jobs in the business, kick out. Found Scotland. To the outer side, Van Berlo, hands on it. Ackland, the crumb, Saddington. Carazzo in game number 50 for him. Murphy, Ackland, Whittle and Houlihan. Whittle off hands from 50 is within range. Favola, not the second grab.
Not the arm.
And the free kick to Brendan Favola. That will be one of the battles of the afternoon. The two number 25s, Favola and Rutten.
What do you think of that, Tony? Do you reckon that was on?
Well, if he has hit the arm, but how soft's that, David? It was just 3 fingers on the arm, and by falling forward, I think Steve McBurney just thought that there was more of a chopping action. You wouldn't want that paid in the grand final.
Oh, no, he gave what he thought happened and not what he saw.
This unique ball hold that Brendan Favola's got. One high hand, one low hand. It's been successful for him this year. And he opens with a goal this afternoon.
Well, that came and you caught it. Santana's kick-in was perfect. Worked all the way down the ground. They did not touch the ball, Adelaide, between the kick-off and the final execution by Favola. And there was some aggressive, positive work done by Carlton at that stage. Excellent start in the manner which they would have hoped.
And there's Ben Rutten. Well, you know, that was 3 fingers on the arm. If it's a genuine chopping motion, no doubt about a free kick, but not on that occasion.
He's now kicked 31 goals, 17 this year, Brendan Favola. And he leads that race for the Coleman yet again. From the ball up, Thompson, Shirley. To half forward, Welsh couldn't get a hand on it, but Mike Crummett. Perry steals it, Edwards. Caught, Van Berlo. Shirley. Smother is good from Bentic. Boundary line is Sanctuary, couldn't get there. Murphy.
Good kick.
Ackland. Magnificent ball movement. Long kick from Murphy. Inside 50, Waite went the big leap. Gathered the crumb. Handball back. Scotland lines them up and nails it.
Well, what about the athleticism of one Jared Waite? He went for the mark early, and good work by Bentic here just to smother. This was the turnover. Then Carlton got the ball back in the corridor, but Jared Waite at the other end went for the mark. Here he is, a little bit early, still got his finger to the ball, and look at this for recovery. Oh, that is magnificent. That's Anthony Koutafidis at his best as a youngster, and of course, Scotland doesn't miss many shots on goal like that.
Been a little inaccurate this year. He kicked 1 goal, 5 coming into this game, Heath Scotland. That'll make him feel a little better. From the ball up, Ackland down for that man, Scotland. To half forward to Fisher. 55 out. Favola led early. Across the face and Waite again.
Well, Dwayne, I was surprised because I thought Waite pulled up early and actually waited for the ball to come to him, and I thought Bassett might have been able. He gave up early too, and if he just continued on, could have got a fist in, I think, and spoilt that. But this is an outstanding start. Delivery excellent, space provided in their front half. Waite should put this away.
One of Carlton's father's sons. His father, a two-time premiership player with the Blues, and Jared, of strange things, was an Essendon fan as a kid. Can you believe that? But he's given the Blues their third.
Well, gee, it's all coming from the middle of the ground, and some of the youngsters from Carlton, and there's Fisher. We know that he works so hard. His kicking's not one of his strengths, but when you kick at the space, you don't have to kick the ball with a lot of power, and that was kept just in the space of weight. And as you said, he held off it late, David, but then that means you can hold the body line off your opponent, and Bassett couldn't get his hands in. Great start to the Blues.
Played every game this year, Jared Waite, after an injury-interrupted season last year. Knee problems, just the 13 games. Perfect start for the Blues. And we'll get a secondary ball up.
And a good thing, Dwayne, you often get it in with rapidity early, but don't convert that into scoreboard, and they've done exactly what the coach would have required.
Hudson, tie up with Ackland, wins the free.
They've got to bring it back.
Liam Pickering on the boundary. He'll be with us shortly.
I don't think you can hear there, Dwayne.
Ackland slips it wide in Bentic's direction. He's got two to beat. Shirley and Van Berlo. Fisher. Caught. Van Berlo. Thompson. Goodwin. Took the tackle and gave the ball out. Thornton could have taken possession, elected not to. No free to Walker. Scotland. Bentic. Murphy. Inside 50 and high towards Favola. Big fist from Stevens. Tackle by Murphy on Goodwin. Shirley caught. Jim Murphy's playing a magnificent game early. He's been dumped, hit, bumped, knocked over, knocked out in the early games. They know he's a key mark, Murphy. Every team's targeted him. He's targeting everyone else today. Oh,
terrific. The tackle, Dwayne, that he put on a few seconds before that when they were about to run it out. That's great for a kid who's such an offensive, skillful ball-carrying player, be able to work just as hard without it. Outstanding.
And he gets a free for his trouble from 50. Across the face a little, and his accuracy hasn't quite been there this year. Mark Murphy's kicked 2 goals, 9 now this season. Down on the boundary line is Liam Pickering. Liam.
No.
We'll have another go in a minute. Dowdy caught. John Cock. Handball's inboard. John Cock again. Hudson. Rolls it towards Perry.
Great pressure from the Blues.
Riley got the handball from Knights. Slips it to half forward. Welsh to the pocket. Tough one for Bott. Ball out of play. We'll get a ball in.
Well, they were just under pressure. They had to go to Ben Hudson running through to receive a handball. The ruckman out in the ground at the moment for the Crows to get some run to break the lines. Just, you know, the pressure of the Blues is really worrying them at the moment, the Crows.
Hudson and Ackland. Ackland knocks it down. Thompson got the handball from Portlesia. And Saddington dives at fullback. Wasn't the full distance. O'Halpin to Bryce Gibbs. Long ball from Gibbs, out wide. Good mark to Houlihan on McLeod.
Oh, Gibbs' usage and delightful kick.
And it'll hurt every time he gets one for Adelaide today. Should be playing for the Adelaide Crows, Bryce Gibbs, but he's not. Murphy. Carazzo missed it. Big fire handball, Portlesia. Goodwin with the back, tried to steal it. Would have been good if he could do it. Cade Simpson. And here he is again. Bryce Gibbs.
Gee, they're on here. Ackland's on in nearly the 40, 50 mark.
Thornton. Long ball. Lappin from 3 deep. Thumps it away from Stevens. Bassett. McLeod. Matner. Knights. Ball thumped clear of Thompson. Got it back. Edwards. Knights again. Perry's on the move. Halpin with him. Bryce Gibbs feeding back. Defensive 50. Paul Pleasure had him by the shorts. Saddington. Thornton. They've worked it well. Bentic.
Oh.
They had worked it well. This is the first game of Adam Hartley. Into trouble. Turned it over. Ball in dispute. Adelaide a big chance here. Shirley got a push in the back. And he'll line up from 35 to break the ice for the Crows.
Well, then you see how hard it is for a young kid coming in. Hartley, he had the ball wobbling all around the place. Probably had 10 or 15 metres free. Couldn't get over. It was like a bit of soap when it went round. When he finally got over it, he got dumped immediately. Ball spills out. And the end result is a Shirley free kick in the back. Bit sad for the kid. It would have been a nicer way to start with a clean possession.
Gee, it's like a pressure valve, isn't it? It's just released at the moment with that free kick.
And it will release for Adelaide in general if Shirley puts this through, which he does. They're on the board.
Well, they might be on the board, Dwayne, but they have not been impressive at all. But you have to give credit to the Carlton pressure around the ball. And Adam Hartley, the ball just flipped out the back. It went through his fingers, and at this level, you know you cannot fumble and give the opposition a second chance. No doubt about the free kick there to Shirley. And look, as I said, just release the pressure now. Can they just get some control, maybe get numbers behind the ball for the next 5 minutes?
19 plays 7. 2-goal lead to the Blues. Shirley having a rest. And the ball up. Griffin now in the ruck. Down to Carazzo.
Right.
Walker. Lead comes short. Over Favola's head. Lappin can't get a fly at it. Bassett does. And McLeod content to see it out. Their ball in.
Their entry's been pretty good, really. I mean, they have gone for long, what all supporters want, but they've missed actually a couple of shorter options, which would have kept possession. The long, high one in the front of the square can get knocked away very easily these days.
Dangerous spot for a ball in. Knight's quick-fire handball to Goodwin was sensational. To Doughty. Now wide. Couple to beat Bock. Can't beat them both.
Free kick the Bock. Saddington holding the jumper.
Okay. And number 50 this afternoon for Nathan Bock.
Been pretty important, Jason Saddington, since he's come back into this side.
Done well.
Thompson will get a ball in. 19 plays 7. And we've played 13 minutes in this opening term in bright sunshine here at the Telstra Dome. Griffin locks up with Kennedy in the ruck also for the Blues. Neither a decisive knockout will get a secondary ball up.
It'll be an interesting one with, looks like Walker following Goodwin all the way, Tony. That's going to be an interesting and very important duel.
Two young ruckmen here too. Kennedy up against Griffin.
Terrible ball up, didn't give either of them a chance to get anywhere near it. Doughty, he's caught.
Should recall that.
Well, he has.
You should recall it. I know he has now after someone nearly got their head ripped off, but that should be recalled. If it doesn't give at least a 60-40 chance to contest the ruck, I think the umpire should just recall it, throw it straight up.
All eyes on umpire Steve McBurney.
That's
gets
better.
it right this time and finds a free. And it'll go to Kennedy against Griffin. Pokes it to the midfield.
Tell you what, they are getting the ball in the corridor, Carlton, aren't they? No wonder they're scoring so quickly this year.
Blackwell. Back to Kennedy. 2-goal lead to Carlton. And he pumps it along. Whitnell and Favola. Favola runs under it. Fisher. Slick handball out. Simpson from the pocket. Oh, it's the post. He liked it off the boot as well.
Well, wasn't it a great slip of a hand pass from Fisher? Oh, it just was clean out of the hands and perfectly executed to Simpson. Nearly put it away. It was coming back and coming back. Got a post.
Andrew McLeod with that tribal headdress tattoo on his shoulder that represents his mother's clan in this Indigenous round. Sends the ball wide to Matner.
Oh, they're out here.
And now Jericho started on the bench. Gives it to Riley. Both of them started on the bench. So some fresh legs for Adelaide. Riley might go all the way. Slips it to Bock in the pocket. Perfect kick.
One thing that Adelaide do, Dwayne, they really work hard for each other in that front half. There were people running to provide space, people running to screen their opposition out. You know, it's a very well organised forward 50 for Adelaide.
2 goals won last week. Nathan Bock is 13-10 for the season. One of Adelaide's 2002 rookies. It was a good rookie year for the club. They went Bock, Rutten and Matner in that year. And he's missed across the face. And 3 good rookie pickups that year for the Adelaide Crows, and they've been one of the best at it.
Another one that's working well is Carazzo on Edwards. That's working well for them.
Long kick in. Whitnell's come down to take it. Can't take the mark. No free to Doughty. He gets it regardless. Handball inboard to Stevens. Edwards. Then Burlow.
Good kick.
Griffin. Gee, it was a high kick to get over his head. Perry. Shoots it back. Porplesia. Jericho from 55. Loads up. Saddington gets back. Last line of defence. Walker. Lappin. And he sends it wide. Houlihan flies, can't bring the mark down. Bock the crumb. Handball stolen by Waite.
Oh, great play.
Takes them all on with a bounce. Goes long in the Whitnell direction and he got it. Lance Whitnell from the pocket. Javola's already kicked one from there.
You talked about his class. I mean, the way he went to the ground and flicked that one out early, the way that he was able to draw the ball back in behind him and let the player fade across the front, that's a real experienced, confident player's ability.
So from the pocket, the captain drives it through. They're looking solid, the Blues.
Well, they are looking solid, and when you look at their forward line, they are really loaded up in their forward line. Favola, Whitnell, Lappin, Fisher, who we know is a great contested player. Look at that intercept there from Waite, because Andrew McLeod was off and on his way home. And then the finish with a good kick. He could have blasted the ball, but he kicked to Whitnell's advantage. And, gee, they have loaded up in their forward line with some class players, the Blues, and it's paying off.
First goal of the afternoon for Lance Whitnell. 17 minutes gone, opening term. 26 plays 8. Free kick. And it's off the ball, and it's against Ian Perry. And he's not happy with the free being given against him. It's the Blues ball in the middle. Kennedy goes long towards Fisher. Ball thumped clear of him. Well played by Matner. Bouncing ball to the wing. Gibbs. Blackwell. Houlihan. Slick handball back in turn. High kick by Murphy. Waite again. No free kick against him. He'll line up from 20.
I'll tell you what, it might be, you know what's happening here. Bassett, he just went to the ground there in the contest. No hands used at all. Well done to the umpire, because he went early. And, gee, Murphy's dominating this first part of this first quarter. No real hands there. That has to be a mark. And pretty insipid by Bassett on that occasion. Went to the ground pretty easily.
That is a give-up, Tony. You'd be very, very annoyed if you were Neil Craig on that one.
For goal number 2 for Jared Waite. Oh, that's a shocker.
No momentum through the kick, was there?
And he is normally a very good kick.
I think they've got to look at making a change, Bassett, on Waite. I think Waite is going to be. Here's the free kick. Oh, just an elbow. There it is, Perry. And another elbow in the stomach, so the umpire's giving that one away. Not a lot in that, was it?
Gee.
What a chase. It's unbelievable.
That is very strange to see that paid.
Unless the umpire had warned him after the first one and he went on with it, so...
Tawney just sends a high bomb to half forward. We're about to tick into time on opening term. Blackwell. Court, Scotland. As always, good through traffic.
Great.
Saddington. Space opens up. Sends it long for Favola and Fisher down there. Can't take the mark. Kennedy.
Get it out, big fella. Yeah,
Holding the ball.
he did a good job to crumb the ball, but had to keep the ball flowing forward, get the momentum towards goal, but pulled it in.
Bassett quickly. Handball wide to Hudson. Free kick off the ball again. And this time it goes to Adelaide.
Gets
It's
Walker.
Simon Goodwin's ball.
Hold on. Now the other umpire.
She's confused everybody, and Van Berlo's got away here. He can run in and kick it. Sizes them up.
Well done,
Right
Murphy.
smother by Murphy. And it's rushed through for a behind.
Who was calling what?
Well, the umpire back behind play 100 metres thought he saw a free kick also. A lot of confusion. That meant the Carlton players all ran back thinking it was going their way.
Exactly.
And they were caught out like Dwayne called it.
So it was 2 umpires off the ball with the umpire in control doing nothing.
No idea what's going on.
Fist by Jericho down in the John Cock direction. First game after a 6-week layoff at John Cock with those ankle problems. Fights in hard and lays the tackle.
Oh, you couldn't pay that.
Holding the ball. Umpires having an influence early.
Dave, have a say, have a say.
I mean, there's got to be some prior opportunity. He gathered and was tackled in the same motion. That would have got it clearly in his hands.
I don't reckon Houdini would have found an escape out of that one.
That's just not right.
Graham John Cock, third game of the season. And he spears the pass and it's cut off. Lappin got a fist on it. Kurtafidis, who started on the bench, in there in the pack. Stevens, head first into the turf.
Oh, the perfect tackle there.
Yep.
Held his arm. Steve McBurney, he's having a say early in this
my
game.
word, he's dominant player.
Give
might have
himself
to
the Brownlow votes, do you think?
What about Murphy?
Oh, brilliant.
And Murphy, another possession here, sends it to the outer side. Off hands Riley. Centering ball, made it tough for Doughty. Good pick up though on the move, Jericho. Shirley. Lead comes from Goodwin. He's got it. Had one hand to it. Stolen by Thornton. Lappin's away. Bryce Gibbs. And he's held up. Lappin. 26 plays 9. Played 23 minutes now opening term. Kurtafidis. Handball over the top to Halpin. His kick not good, straight to Bassett.
Oh, that's 50. Might be 50.
Let it go.
Oh, jeez.
We can't pick anything here.
Oh, I'm staying out of it. I reckon you're doing a great job, Dave.
Thompson slides it low. Jericho, millimetres from the turf.
The whole contest has stabilised, hasn't it, the last 7 minutes? Now, there's nearly 3 goals up, Carlton. They deserve, no doubt they deserve their lead, but they have a couple of turnovers in the midfield. Players are getting tired at the end of the quarter.
Didn't play at all last year. Luke Jericho, shoulder reconstruction. He hasn't kicked a goal this year. Just 3 behind so far. That looked like a confident kick. And it's hit the post. He's kicked 4 behinds for the year now.
Now, Lance Whitnell, I think it's Lance Whitnell going to take this kick in. They just shut up shop.
Yep.
The Blues have got nothing behind the play.
6 or 7
minutes to go
with a lead.
Lappin. 26 plays 10.
Well, they cannot keep playing attacking football like they do every minute of the game, you would think, Dave. And when you get that 3-goal lead, you've done it because of that reason, so shut it down.
I agree, Tony, and it's...
Blackwell ducked his head. He was allowed to get away with it. Kurtafidis. Wide. Wade Simpson. Favola's in the pocket. Said a couple to beat. They crunch him in the sandwich. I mean, we'll get a ball in.
It's petrol, ticket time, isn't it? We all know you get to this stage, 20-minute mark. Never again in the game, do you? But at this stage, really difficult times running wise.
Lovely grab by Kane Simpson.
Van Berlo missed the opportunity, and the ball's back in the middle of the pack. Hudson trying to get it out again.
Blow the whistle. Gee whiz.
He fought well there, Hudson. John Cock. Back pocket, dangerous kick.
Oh.
Terrible kick, cut off by Fisher.
People would, sitting in the crowd, you'd actually, So this is a bloke that maybe hasn't played for 6 weeks, but because this time, in this game, at this moment, the one thing you shouldn't do is what he's done. I mean, he just squared up, he sat the ball up and made it impossible. Fisher's come over the top and taken what was a very good mark, but should never, ever have been allowed to access the ball.
You don't mind if they drill it about a metre off the ground, but with that hang time, the defender can get it, and a 50-metre penalty. I'll tell you what, Neil Craig would not be happy with what's happening at the moment. It'll show a bit of lack of discipline on a number of occasions in this first quarter, unlike the Adelaide Crows.
So Brad Fisher from the goal line for goal number 5 for Carlton.
Well, they're going to have to do something. I was amazed that they haven't pushed back either. I thought Adelaide would have accepted. Maybe the momentum, as you suggested, got reasonably balanced in the last 7 or 8 minutes, but there's no doubt that a decision, and worse, the execution on top of that is absolutely killed. And that could be define the winning or losing of the game.
12th goal of the season for Brad Fisher. He's missed 2 games as well earlier this year with that fracture to his cheekbone. Magnificent start for the Blues in the shadows of quarter time here. 26 minutes gone opening term. Clearance to half forward. Bock through traffic. Gets it up to Jericho. Wobbles it in the Edwards direction. He's playing out of full forward. Carrazzo.
Doing a good job, Carrazzo.
Halpin. Tawney. And he gathers on the wing to Goodwin. Into the 27th minute now of this opening term. Edwards with a one-handed grab. Gee, took off. And slipped.
Guess who? Which umpire?
I'm not going anywhere near it.
And he pokes it inside 50, and Riley, who is a very accurate kick of the ball, takes the mark. Goodwin was a bit like a dog on lino, though. He took 3 steps but didn't go anywhere.
That's true, that's true.
A dog on lino.
Well, he didn't make any ground.
So you reckon even though he's trying to play on, he hasn't actually played on?
Well, you have to actually move from the spot you're on,
that's
otherwise.
True. No, that's a correct call. That's a correct call.
Bit of a cat on a hot tin roof, but a dog on lino.
Good kick of the ball normally, Brent Riley. 6th season, a Victorian back home this afternoon. And it's there.
Pretty important goal in the context of this game. They needed to sneak that one, having given one up just a minute ago at that end. I think they needed to go in at quarter time with some semblance of scoreboard pressure.
I think he's gone off the line there, and that should have been play on. I know he slipped, and the umpire's giving him the benefit of the doubt, but he did take 1 or 2 steps and went off the line and then slipped over. Very lucky Tyson Edwards, but it did. Another release from the pressure valve.
First goal of the afternoon for Brent Riley. 28 minutes gone now. Opening term, 32 plays, 16. And again, Thompson with the clearance. Short inside 50 to Edwards. And after winning the quarter, Carlton might go in at quarter time a little disappointed. They'll still be in front. But if they concede 2 goals in the last minute and a half, they won't be happy.
This is why this man's so good. They've identified around the ball that Carrazzo was having the better of this duel. So what they've done, they've pushed Tyson Edwards to the forward line. He loves to kick a goal. So well done to Neil Craig to identify that matchup.
Been a sensational player over his career. 23 possessions again last week. Only the 6th pro to play 250 games. Tyson Edwards across the face to Bock, who almost marked. Quick kick out of defence by Hartlett, the first gamer. Stevens steals it back. Short. Thompson. Good skills. Magnificent skills. Perry. Too far out to score. Just pokes it into the hole. Hudson. And Hudson can line up to kick his first goal of the year.
Halpin just got lost in transit. Then he didn't move out of the centre square. His opponent went well into 50, and I'm looking around and think, I can't believe he hasn't seen him, he hasn't worked to him, he just got lost in transit.
Has not kicked a goal this year. Ben Hudson, just the 3 behinds to his name. Siren sounded for quarter time. Had the year off last year with a knee problem. It's good to see him back. Played every game so far this year. And he's missed. Four behinds for the year now, without a goal for Ben Hudson. But quarter time here at the Dome. Bright sunshine, and it's been a good contest to watch so far, especially if you're a Blues fan. Carlton 5-2-32, Adelaide 2-5-17.
Australia, you have a choice.
At Jetstar, you only pay for what you use.
I like that.
It's why Jetstar is famous for low fares.
On your Jetstar.
And why over 8 million Jetstar passengers have flown for less than $100.
I spent more on shoes.
I know you have.
And over 1 million of those for less than $50.
How good is that?
It's called choice.
And you get it from Jetstar.
Thank you, Jetstar. Thank you.
Jetstar, Australia's low fares airline.
Has 3 hours to change the past, catch a killer.
Brace yourselves, you're about to witness a murder.
And stop a disaster.
I got him!
You think you know what's coming? You don't have a clue.
Deja vu.
Now available on DVD.
This is Pete, age 30. He takes home $635 a week. And like most working Australians, he has a taxed super fund. Let's see how he'll benefit from the biggest reform to superannuation ever. If Pete decides to retire at 65, the changes mean that he'll receive $81 extra a week to spend during his retirement. That's in today's dollars. And without tipping anything extra into his super fund. And Pete's super payout will be absolutely tax-free as long as he takes it after he's 60, which is fair enough. He works hard for it. To find out more about the changes to super, visit australia.gov.au or call our helpline on 13 10 20. Better super. Australia's worked hard for it. Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
No city appreciates a sporting occasion like Melbourne. Grand Final Day is the ultimate. For a player, there's no greater thrill than running onto the G. For the football aficionado, the ultimate grand final experience is inside Centre Square. World-class hospitality and a prime seat at the game make Centre Square the ultimate way for you and your clients to enjoy one of the great days in world sport. Don't miss your chance to access the ultimate grand final experience. Find out more at centresquare.com.au.
This NRL Sunday, hit the ground running live at 1:30 with the Suncorp pre-game show. Then they beat them in 06 and Ground 6. Now Brisbane man the battlements as Newcastle rides in for revenge.
And the Knights are back.
And at 6, the battle of the Big Cats. Penrith return home to a West Tigers welcome. Will it be 6 straight for Sheens? Broncos Knights live at 2. Panthers Tigers at 6. Sunday, all the footy is on Fox Sports.
Next weekend, it's a footy bonanza on Fox Sports. Rugby, with the World Cup looming, stakes are high. The build-up begins with a live back-to-back triple header of international rugby.
That's a great try.
NRL, make it a Super Saturday with viewer's choice. You choose the game you want to watch live. Plus NRL Sunday and Monday night footy. AFL Fox Sports 1 delivers 2 live double headers Saturday and Sunday. And live coverage continues from the French Open next weekend. Fox Sports.
Quarter time here at the Telstra Dome. Roof is open. Beautiful afternoon for football and a beautiful first term for Carlton. 5-2-32 to Adelaide 2-5-17.
Well, it was a fantastic quarter by this group here. Very young, enthusiastic and exciting, and one player up in the forward line. Well done to Dennis Pagan, because he started Jared Waite in the forward line to aim. Jared Waite's been playing centre-half back nearly this whole year, and he was the go-to man. He was too good for Bassett. At ground level, he was just sensational. He's so agile that I thought Dennis Pagan really put him on the front foot. Their midfield, Murphy's been brilliant. Carazzo's done a job on Edwards. And look, they were just the better side in that first half. Matter of fact, I thought Adelaide got some goals right against the trend of play. And we could see there Neil Craig imploring his players to lift. There's Andrew McLeod probably saying, look,
what am I going to do here?
Yeah, I can't get off this man at the moment. Do you want to throw me up in the midfield and maybe I can break the lines?
So, well, you said you've got to give the coaching panel at Carlton and Dennis for the placement. Their matchups have been excellent. Carazzo did extremely well early on Edwards, and they've had to try and define a new role for him. You're quite right with Whitnell, Lappin, Waite, Fisher, Houlihan doing the job on McLeod, and Favola hasn't been. They've become Favola eccentric. I mean, that ball's been going to other people. So it's excitement. It's a bit of a risk at the other end, Tony, because they've got not the talent. They've got Saddington, O'Helpin, Thornton and company down back trying to match up against Bock, Perry and Welsh, and that might be a problem to finish, which has for the last couple of weeks. But you'd like to think they might hold their own, and it'll be okay.
Well, look,
15-point lead to the Blues at quarter time, and Liam Pickering is with Tony Liberatore.
Libby, you'd be happy with the start, especially.
Yeah, it was a good start. You know, we took our opportunities, 5 goals to 2-5. You know, they were lucky they probably went in the game a bit longer in that last little bit where they missed shots on goal, but we're very happy with the start.
And you can keep with the tall forward line setup you've got in the first quarter?
It's worked out quite well. Our defenders are doing well. They're scoring. They've been terrific. So, you know, we just got to keep generating the goals.
Good luck.
Thanks.
15-point lead to the Blues. They've started their games well so far this year. On many occasions, they've been in front for a lot of the games and then been overrun.
Now, Dwayne, there's McLeod. Here's pushed up to the wing on Houlihan. Just wonder whether he spoke to Neil Craig at quarter time and said, look, get me up the ground a little bit more. I want to get involved.
Kicked 20 goals last week against the Kangaroos, Carlton, and lost. Kicked 18 goals a couple of weeks before that against the Lions and lost. So they can concede goals quickly from the ball up to start this second term. Scotland to half forward. Rutten, little 1-2 with Matner, Doughty, Thompson. Had a good opening term. Bock peels off. Edwards forced to stop. Carazzo, Perry, arms free to Portpleasure. It's all about the kick. Lines them up. It's there. First goal to Adelaide.
Well, they set that up, Tony, I think, extremely well. They haven't been good, as you suggested before the game, round stoppages. Their clearances is the lowest in the competition. But they worked that one out, and to find Jericho free, that's a risk-taking by the Carlton defenders to get off, as they have offensively left one man to be used very, very easily.
Well, Portpleasure kept alive. Ian Perry, just the way that he competes, kept that alive, and Portpleasure, normally a very good kick.
Great start to the second term. It's the second chance of the Crows for Portpleasure. He was a rookie back in 2003, sent back to West Adelaide and then picked up again. Good to see he's making the most of his second chance. Tackle on Ackland, dispossessed. And the first gamer, little handball from Hartlett, out wide towards Simpson. Ball thumped clear of him. Fisher, Matner, boundary line, ball in.
Now, they've gone with Tyson Edwards, the Crows in their forward line. So, as they did at the end of that first quarter, they know that Carazzo has done the job on him around the packs. And there they are. They're deep in the forward line.
Ackland and Hudson. Shirley. Goodwin. Riley. Long high ball. Makes it tough for Welsh. Thornton gets there. Takes the mark. Got one a little high. Plays for 50.
Oh, no umpire. Oh, look, what is it? It's just, it's like going back to primary school.
Whoa!
Oh, this is amazing.
There are football gods. And they're watching this game. Great to have them here this afternoon. Kick to half forward. Halpin with the palm down. White got the handle from Fisher. Satana runs inside 50, doesn't want to go to goal. Saw the barrier there, didn't want to kick to it. And the Crows get out of trouble. That was amazing. He's not kicked a goal this year, Satana, and he looked as if he didn't want to kick one at all for the rest of the year. Good one. From Goodwin to Riley. High to the top of the square. Big fly and nice mark for Portpleasure again.
He's certainly looking all the player that we saw the potential a couple of years ago. You know, that was an excellent mark on the field. But the ball should not have been back. I mean, Wayne called it right. I'm not sure whether whether he saw somebody and he tried to screw it round, but he had a clear open run. Anybody would have pinned their ears back, which he appeared to do early, and just kicked that through.
To make it 2 in a row to Adelaide to start their second term, and both at a poor pleasure.
Well, in a stanza of play of about 2 minutes, we've seen two of the most comical things you'll ever see. The umpire fall over just backpedaling, and then Santanto O'Halpin, I don't know what he was trying to do. He was only 35 metres out, no one in the goal square, and he tried to pass off. That turnover led to this man who was a talented player, had horrible knee injuries over his career also. But we could just see there, I was just trying to pick up the Carlton player. I think it's Joe Anderson's got that job. Might have to look at that matchup.
Joe Anderson off the bench, now playing on poor pleasure, who's doubled his goal tally for the year in the last 60 seconds. He's now got 4 for the season. Free kick from the ball up. And it goes Ackland's way. Played 5 minutes, second term. Long kick in the Whitnall direction. Back of the pack. Favola to Lappin. Sidestep. Miss.
It was good to see Fev give it off, because normally he would hook it through, and I thought he would do that to give it off. And I reckon Lapp was a good option, but he's missed a simple one.
Yeah, I don't know. When you're a super kicker guy like Favola, I don't know where the handballs will go.
Might be the last one that leaves his hand.
Yeah, I think so.
Knights to McLeod. Just the third possession for Andrew McLeod, and it doesn't count. Lappin. Thornton. O'Halpin. Houlihan. Space on the city side of the Telstra Dome. Favola.
Go back, Fev. Yeah, he knows it too. I'm not handballing this one, Dave.
Kick one in the opening term, Brendan Favola.
Beautiful kick by Houlihan. That's what he's doing. He's playing on McLeod. He's done a fair job on McLeod, but to finish like that, that's what he's got to do. Make McLeod pay when he doesn't man him up. I think this man kicking the goal now is the second best kicking goal I've ever seen.
True, that's a big
second
goal.
to Peter McKenna.
So that high left hand and the low right hand. Scott Brownlow votes 2 of the last 3 times Carlton's played Adelaide. From the 50.
Don't let me down. Oh, of course they do, don't they? He's not happy.
Only a behind. Liam Pickering.
Yeah, boys, I was just fascinated to watch the matchup between Houlihan and McLeod. Houlihan, of course, playing at half forward, but he's actually got the arm across McLeod because he's that important to the run of the Adelaide Crows, but it's like the old-fashioned defender, except it's the other way around.
Thompson got it from Bassett. Matner. Riley. Perry short. He's ignored. Heads in the Bok direction. Got it. In the pocket. Tough kick. Game number 50, as we said, for Nathan Bok. Wasn't serious about his footy as a kid. Was almost as interested in surfing. Spent a bit of time over here in Victoria, surfing bells and various breaks along the Great Ocean Road coast. Has knuckled down to be quite an important player in this Adelaide lineup, and it's 3 in a row to start the second term for Adelaide.
Well, they've hit the front, Tony, and deservedly so. I think the 3 goals they've scored almost are the 3 easiest of the day. Yes, Riley's been a terrific user of the ball coming in. I think we said before the game, those who use it best into 50 to set the thing up are probably going to, win it for their respective teams.
Point lead Carlton had to start this second term. Adelaide in front by a point. 7 minutes gone. From the ball up. Blues in trouble now. Ackland. Around the body to half forward. Adelaide playing with confidence. Shirley. Keeps it alive to Van Berlo. Around the body is okay from Thompson.
Oh, that's a free kick.
Free kick. And it's against Bok, and it will go to Jason Saddington. Joe Anderson Started on the bench, one of the Indigenous stars of our game. Takes off in game number 4. Bentic toward half forward, Whitnell, Matner, Doughty, Matner.
Left foot.
Almost holding the ball.
Tried to get back on his left foot. He didn't have any right side at all, Marty Matner.
Umpire said he didn't dispose of it correctly. Lappin pokes it inside 50. Big spoil by Stevens. McLeod. Edwards out wide, but Carrazzo. Been a good battle so far today. Carrazzo, Edwards, Carrazzo!
Oh, gone.
Ball!
What a great battle this has been.
It has been. That was excellent.
Like a prize fight. Carrazzo got the first round. Edwards has been pretty good as a forward, a small forward. And on that occasion, two very, very competitive players just going at it.
Terrific stuff. The young bull and the old bull, wasn't it?
Houlihan wide towards Whitnell.
Gee, Lance has dropped a few marks. He's had the ball and he's going berserk. You can see it. The umpire keep playing the game, Lance.
Gee, every player stopped then. Thought the umpire was going to ball it up. Bassett lays the tackle. Hudson got it from Tawney, gave it to Shirley. Back to Hudson, Van Berlo. Doughty. Welsh hasn't had a big afternoon so far.
Pleasure.
Possession number 2 is good for Pleasure. Anderson spoil magnificent, as was the tackle.
Oh, good boy.
Gee, he was under the pump, wasn't he? How good was that?
He didn't give the free, he couldn't. He defended it well. Ground ball was grabbed in front of him and then put a terrific tackle.
I'm not happy with that matchup, though, and not a great kick from Joe Anderson.
Turnover. Kick towards full forward. Back of the pack. Umpire's found a free. It'll go Adelaide's way to Riley.
Well, it's probably right. You only see about 300 of those not paid every week. But anyway, this is, I think he's saying why the player on the mark to umpire McBurney again. I don't believe it.
Oh, I tell you, he's having a great impact on this game is Steve McBurney. If he's not falling over running backwards, gee, there's been some soft free kicks. This man, Riley, he's been brilliant.
Has been a good player.
Played every game last year, all 24, kicked 14 goals.
You know what, Carlton people won't be happy with this free kick, I don't think.
They had the choice of Brent Riley or Nick Del Santo in the draft, Adelaide, and they took Riley. He's got 2.
Well, it hasn't been just his goal kicking. He's been the link man from full back. And that was Joe Anderson's kick, the interception. Did well to win the ball. Oh, come on. Now, Dave, that's just a normal bump and a player who's been under the ball, pushed under the ball and got no hope of getting back in the marking contest. Do you have to just let him run around you?
Well, you can't. He stood his ground. That's all he did. But basically, he stood where he was playing.
I think Steve McBurney's lost the plot himself.
2 goals to Brent Riley, former Calder Cannon from the Victorian Under-18 competition. And it's 41-34. The Blues are on the ropes. And we're only 11 minutes into this second term. Let's go down to the boundary line, Liam Pickering.
It's really noticeable the intensity of the Adelaide side this quarter. It's led by Riley. They've really lifted their work rate around the ground, also around the stoppages as well.
Led by as much as 23 points, Carlton. And Anderson tied up. Joe Anderson picked 67 back in 2006 for the Blues. Darwin senior best and fairest winner last year. Had a big job in defence, as has Carrazzo on Edwards. I saw Whitnell on the bench now for the Blues. Big pack. The 2 umpires looked at each other, and the umpire furthest from the contest paid a free for too high, and it goes to the man we were talking about, Joe Anderson. One Indigenous champion to another. To Walker.
What a McLeod.
Kicks to half forward and McLeod knocks it out of play and will get a ball in.
Well, that was an enormous effort, wasn't it, by McLeod? He could have just about conceded that, but launched himself horizontal to get rid of the ball from Houlihan.
Hudson. Van Berlo couldn't break free with it. Riley.
Just how the umpires, and this is an issue now at these ball-ups and throw-ins, I think the umpire should always be boundary side, outside the square. So you can look back into the corridor. You've got an umpire up each end of the ground.
He can do it from the other side.
This is exactly the positioning he should be in every occasion.
Yep.
Koutafidis. Murphy. Fisher pushed out of it by Matner. Well, out of play.
If the two non-officiating umpires are back in the corridor, then the third view on the triangle has obviously got to be the right one.
7-point lead to Adelaide, their biggest lead of the game. A tie-up, and we'll get a ball up. 13 minutes gone, second term.
In the first quarter, Dwayne, many of those would have slipped out into Carlton's hand. They're not getting out now.
Hudson, quick down to Thompson. Lappin, got the free. Centering ball, Kurtafiti's lurking.
Oh.
Got it. Feeds it off to Cade Simpson. Didn't want to take the kick himself. Cade Simpson from 40 to full forward. Off hands, Goodwin. And they think about rushing it behind. And don't. Knights. Hudson. So you can tell who the competent team is at the moment. When they were 4 goals down, they would have rushed it behind then Adelaide. Hudson wide to Van Berlo, who takes on 3 Blues. Goes to Tawney, who can go all the way. No one in the goal square. Launches long. Through for a behind.
But we talk about momentum. There's no doubt who the momentum's with at the moment. They're playing well, the Crows. Very well. Winning the contest, using the ball well.
Blackwell wide. Murphy. Held up.
Lance Whitnell's on the bench. I think he's dropped about 2 or 3 marks where he's had his hands to the ball first up, so he's lacking confidence. They might still need to look to him to get up there, though. Push him in the forward line.
Walker couldn't bring the mark down. Thompson. Matner. Knights. Play on, free kick. And Tawney's free here.
How did he get there?
He can stroll in. He's already had a sighter. He left it behind. Kennedy to get around.
He looks like he was gone out in his feet, Tawney.
Kurtafiti's middle of the pack.
That was a... Tawney, you're right. That was a terrible effort. The finish, he couldn't pick it up and he kicked it straight up in the air. Destroyed a very good setup and an opportunity.
Gee.
You know what's happened, Dave? He's playing on Heath Scotland in the midfield now. He's never played there a lot, Tawney.
Blackwell short to Favola. Rutten beats him to the ball.
Maybe no chance, Dwayne. The kick was inside and not out where it should have been.
Thompson. Possession number 11 for Thompson to Doughty. Short. Hudson. He's starting to play a big role too. He just pokes it. Inside 50. Jericho flies. Walker. Kurtafiti's. Fisher. Houlihan.
They're falling down at centre-half forward, Carlton now. As I said, they need someone to move up the ground. Favola's come up to the wing.
And he'll go for this one, Favola. Flies, can't pluck it. Boundary line. Ball in.
And that's the one thing about Fed when he does play up. He's not second efforts. His one effort is to try and grab it high and nothing else is after that. So he's vulnerable at centre-half forward.
Hudson. Through his legs. Tied up. Good to see Ben Hudson back. He's a 28-year-old. He's not young. Playing just his 42nd game. He was late to the AFL. Ben Hudson from Mount Gravatt in Queensland and had to come down to Werribee to show his skills and get drafted eventually. So he's back home in Victoria. Kurtafiti's. Anderson.
Good
Hudson's man. Kennedy couldn't fire it out. John Cock does. To Knights. To Jericho. This is a different Adelaide team in this second term.
It is amazing turnaround. And again, it's just winning the ball at the contest. We know Carlton have been good at it. Adelaide haven't over this season. 16th at winning the ball at the contest in the AFL. But I tell you what, they've dominated this quarter.
We have to be quick to beat Jericho on the lead. He ran the heats in the Bay Sheffield a few years ago. He is very, very quick off the blocks. And he can kick straight.
That came off a tawny tackle in the centre of the ground. It was just enormous effort. I mean, he took a man double his size to the ground. Hurt his shoulder a bit in the process. I'm not sure whether he's still playing around with the arm now, but it was an enormous tackle. Caused a turnover in the finish, and they're away. Set up beautifully.
Jason Tawney, whose shoulder is a little sore. Turns 30 next month. Injuries are a little tougher to get over when you tip over that hill. From the ball up, they've kicked 5 goals to 0 this quarter, Adelaide. Knights, stolen by Scotland. Handball misses the target. Shirley, Thompson, Bock. Open forward line again. He can load up to the goal square. Welsh is running back there. O'Halpin.
I thought he used his hands in the contest there.
He definitely used his hands in the contest.
And the umpire was there again.
I just didn't worry about calling it because you've already bagged the umpires enough today. I would have put them away. And rightly so. Kurtafidis, Lappin, Matner. You just can't worry about the hands in the back rule anymore. It's just not an issue.
Week in, week out, isn't it?
Lappin, Bentic. Looping handball to Kurtafidis is good. It was from Carazzo, and he sends it inside 50, and Stevens holds the mark and gets 50. The bump by Favola was not in the marking contest.
Well, Fev's got to control this now. He hasn't had a great day at the office so far, but it hasn't been his fault. I don't think it's been down there that often in this quarter.
Oh, and they've structured well enough to be able to kick the goals without him.
Kick to half forward, and it's been marked by Bassett. Speaking of blokes who don't kick many goals, he's kicked one this year, Nathan Bassett, but only 24 for his 182-game career.
Specialist of the helicopter too, Dwight.
He did run forward the other week, didn't he?
Yeah, he did kick a goal, I think.
I saw that. He didn't get excited about it all, did he?
Because he holds the world record for marks in an AFL game. He took 22 against Collingwood. And that's a little short off the boot. Big pack flies are behind. Down on the boundary line, Liam Pickering.
Yeah, the run from Adelaide's defence really getting on top here. We know it's a strength of their game, but the likes of Bassett, Matten are all trying to push forward and take their opponents into their forward line every opportunity they get.
Fev off now. I think it's disciplinary, the 50. I think that's automatic at Carlton, and Whitten will replace him.
Thornton. They have not kicked the goal this quarter, Carlton. They've kicked 2 behinds. Murphy to Saddington.
And I'll tell you what, Adelaide now playing it on their terms because Bassett is a loose man in defence about 60 or 70 metres from this kick, and they just cannot get through their half-forward line, Carlton.
Played 21 minutes now, second term. Houlihan. Bumped as he kicked it. Oh, the umpire says that's downfield. That's free. Gee, I've already used my bag. The umpire
I'm not going anywhere near it.
No, we don't know.
Let's concentrate on the game.
It's just going to be a long review tape on Monday.
Chip kick inside 50. Matner.
Four Adelaide players against Whitnell there.
McLeod. Goodwin. Acting captain today. Of course, Rashido not playing, as well as a few of them. Biglands, Henschel, McGregor, Bode, Burton for Adelaide. All not playing this afternoon. Stevens' kick. Off hands to Thornton. He looks up and he's got Blackwell. Hits him.
Wait.
Set it up for Waite. Made him wait. And it's out of play. Of course, Carlton with a few out as well. No Eddie Betts, Nick Stevens and Cameron Cloak as well.
Blackwell's had 2 unpressured kicks into their 50 today, which have just set up and murdered his opponent, murdered his teammates forward.
Saw Brett Burton and Mark Rashido in the box just then with Neil Craig. Shirley from the tap down. Van Berlo caught. Johncock to Jericho. Lead comes. Jericho might go the whole way from 50. Magnificent. As good as it gets.
Well, the game has been dominated in 2 quarters, hasn't it? You would have thought that Adelaide had not come to play and weren't going to see the ball throughout the first quarter. Now it's just been the other way. They don't look like getting it in, and they don't look getting it in a way that's going to set up forwards. They don't like kicking a goal full stop.
And there's Jericho. What a great kick. Wayne said he's one of the quickest players at the Crows, and he finished beautifully there.
2 goals in this term to Luke Jericho. He's not young. He's only played 23 games, but he was drafted back in 2002. This is his 5th season on the list. Shoulder reconstruction last year. Good to see him back. Shirley wide in Jericho's direction again, and he's got it. Made everybody else look slow. Kicks inside 50. Tough bouncing ball. Thompson had a sensational game until that kick, and it's out of bounds on the full with position number 15. In fact, it scraped in for a behind. Liam Pickering.
Favola back on for Carlton, playing out at half forward. Stevens his opponent at the moment, but I think if he pushes deep, he'll get his old pal Ben Rutten straight back on his shoulder.
You'd have to think that a Santanto helmet has to be moved off Jericho now. He plays on key position plays. Another turnover here from Carlton.
Shirley, Thompson, slick handball to Knights. Bach, little too slick for Edwards. Jericho, Knights, got it out somehow. Poor Pleasure couldn't thread a handball through. Good tackling from both Blackwell and Saddington. Ball up.
Bit of friendly fly there.
Tyson Edwards.
Knights took out Tyson Edwards with the best up front bump to get it all done. That'd cost him 4 weeks.
The opposition.
Perry, John Cock, caught by Joe Anderson. And a free kick. Saddington wasn't sure that it was his.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it was for.
He's got it. Murphy.
Gone out of the game this second quarter.
Yes, it has.
But they haven't had the ball, have they? That's just have not had control of the ball. So your midfielders can't link up.
Whitnell.
Bad kick too.
Can't even get near it to attempt the mark. Free kick to Stevens. 25 minutes gone now, second term.
Here's Knights and
friendly fire. Quick kick to Thompson and seen out by Thornton.
You don't think they'll be sharing the shower tonight, I think, Tony.
So Perry and Bach having a rest at the 26-minute mark of the second quarter from the ball in. Blackwell, Murphy, boundary line.
Gee, everything's so hard in it for Carlton. Around the crunches, they just cannot get any clean ball and link up like they did in the first quarter. Give credit to Neil Craig too, because putting Edwards forward, he's put John Cock forward, so different type of player in their forward 50 now.
Stevens, third man up. Big pack around the ball up. And a quick ruck change as this ball up's about to take place. Kennedy off, Ackland on, straight into the action. So Ackland tries to get himself a position. Stevens over the top, third man up for the second time in succession. Bentic tied up. Knights. Riley works back to space.
Beautiful kick.
Stevens opens it up to Bassett.
Van Berlo.
All on his own, Van Berlo.
Well, Bentic's his man, isn't it? I mean, Van Berlo, I haven't seen Bentic for half. He's gone forward and I hope he can mix it up a bit down there, but he's 30 or 40 metres off his man. That's too easy access with inside the 50.
Nathan Van Berlo, another one of these young Adelaide players who've had a few seasons under their belt now. Still young in terms of games, game 39, but turns 21 next month. But third season on the list for Nathan Van Berlo. And misses. .28 now gone, second term.
It's been a 38-point turnaround from corner. That is amazing that you do that in one quarter when a side was so dominant.
Ackland pops it up, tough one to mark, and Fisher made it look okay. Carazzo, Fisher, Favola's back on.
No, that's not a great kick. You've got to kick to space. If the player can't get on the lead, at least kick to space, even if it is to the boundary line side. And Bassett has become a thorn in the side now. He's a loose man in defence for the Crows.
Just feeding him though, Tony. I mean, it was a dreadful kick.
Riley. Van Berlo. Jericho. Magnificent mark. Plays on. Sidesteps. Sends a long drop punt.
Oh.
For a behind. On the siren. A second term that if you're a Carlton fan is hard to believe, and if you're an Adelaide fan, you also want to pinch yourself. That was magnificent. The Blues did not score a goal in the second quarter. They kicked 2 behinds. Adelaide, 6 goals for the term. 6 goals, 5 in fact, so 11 scoring shots for Adelaide. And they have broken this game wide open. Half-time here at the Dome. Adelaide 8-10-58. The Blues with some work to do. 5-4-34.
We don't have any sales at Bunnings. Because we're able to buy in bulk, we're always able to keep the prices low, and we have the lowest prices.
Round glazed pots $8.95, roller covers $11.97, collated gun nails $23.80, 4 outlet power boards $9.80, doormats 2 for $4. If you happen to find a cheaper price on a stocked item, we'll beat it by 10%.
They come in knowing that it's going to happen, and that's why they've come to Bunnings and haven't got it from somewhere else.
Bunnings Warehouse! Lowest prices are just the beginning.
This is Amanda, who is self-employed. Let's see how she'll benefit from the biggest reform to superannuation ever. For a start, most self-employed people, like Amanda, can claim all their superannuation contributions as a tax deduction, which is only fair because they've worked hard for it. The changes also mean that Amanda may now be eligible for the Super Co-Contribution Scheme, where the government tips in extra to help her super grow. And, like all people with taxed super, she can look forward to paying absolutely no tax on her super payout after she's 60. So tipping a little more money into a super is now one of the best investments a self-employed person like Amanda can make, which is a fair reward for all her hard work. To find out more about the improvements to super, visit australia.gov.au or call the helpline. Better super. Australia's worked hard for it. Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
The concerts for a climate in crisis. 7 gigantic concerts across 7 countries in one day. The biggest ever coming together of people for the planet. Crowded House, Jack Johnson, Wolfmother, Missy Higgins, Sneaky Sound System, Paul Kelly, Eskimo Joe, John Butler Trio, and more. Live Earth. The 7th of the 7th, 07 at Aussie Stadium. Get your tickets now.
Sunday AFL on Fox Sports. Acker's finding his feet and the Doggies want to inflict a mauling at Monica, but the Swans are set on stealing into the top 8 when they descend on the Capital 1 o'clock Sunday. Then 2 and 3 go toe-to-toe. The Cats look to continue their surge to the top, but first they'll have to shut down the power live and active from 4. Sunday AFL on Fox Sports. Western Bulldogs Sydney from 1, followed by Port Adelaide Geelong at 4, all live on Fox Sports 1.
The Superbike World Championship from Great Britain, 8:30 Sunday night, live on Fox Sports 3. In Monza, the locals' dream came true.
The crowd will go nuts!
As the Yamaha Italia team with Japan's Noriyuki Haga on board produced the season's first double.
What a race for Nitro Nori!
And celebrated in true Italian style. Now, see who slips or sticks at Silverstone. The Superbike World Championship from Great Britain, 8:30 Sunday night, live on Fox Sports 3.
Half-time here at the Telstra Dome, and the Adelaide Crows have come from 4 goals down to be 4 goals up at the main change, 5-4-34 to 8-10-58. Bright sunshine here at the Telstra Dome. Perfect conditions for football. The only downside for the Adelaide Crows being Jonathan Griffin's ankle injury, which might keep him out of the rest of the game. But, Tony, they've been inspirational to watch, Adelaide.
Oh, the second quarter, you would think they swapped jumpers at quarter time, Dwayne. It was just incredible. Carlton got off to a great start, but then the second quarter, we said that they were 16th in the league for winning contested ball, and now they changed that around. They just dominate. This was it, the pressure. Look at the numbers there, 3 and 4 players. You can see in that screen probably 8 Adelaide Crows players, the 4 Carlton players, and I've got no doubt that Neil Craig just said also, let's try and run the lines instead of kicking the ball. Quick handball, get over the lines, and then put some pressure on the defence for Carlton. They were just brilliant.
And how do they stop this? Because they're going to have to stop it and start scoring again themselves,
well,
though.
You've got to go back to the first quarter and just think, you know, what happens in the first quarter? How did we get back there? And we went around the ball, we cleared the ball from there, our forward line was fairly potent, and you could just see them. Whitnell was playing against 3 or 4. It was played on Adelaide Crows' terms. Porplesia was a good goal kicker in that quarter, and also Jericho was just sensational also. But Carlton now, what they've got to do is make sure that they win some ball around the contest and then get their forward line up and running again.
Jared Wade was good for Carlton in the first term. They looked a different team in the first term, Carlton, to what they did in the second. They were magnificent early.
Well, their clearances, as in their number 1 tap ruckman clearances side in the competition, was brilliant. Jared Wade, look, I just love the way that this bloke played. He's played at centre-half back most of this year. Well done to Dennis Pagan. He might have identified a bit of a niche or a problem in the defence for the Adelaide Crows, and it was Bassett. Wade was too quick for him. He set up a couple of times with some double efforts, and of course he scored some goals like that, but he went out of the game. They didn't get any supply in their forward line in that second quarter.
Favola and Rutten, it's been a match-up that Rutten's been able to win, even though Favola got a goal early. Rutten's won it since then.
Well, the thing is, there was no supply. And Rutten's, you know, he's only had 10 goals kicked on him. Fev missed a goal, you know, kicked a goal also in the quarter, but missed a goal in the second, which could have got him going. But again, he's got that frustration. Look at that. 2 against 1. No full forward can win that type of contest. So give credit to the Adelaide Crows. They're getting back. And this is the goal that I say, I think he's probably the second best kick for goal I've seen in my time in the game. And that's second to only Peter McKenna. But Ben Rutten, all Australian a couple of times. He knows how to play that position. He's getting a lot of help.
And you did say a few things about the umpiring in that opening half, Tony. There were a couple of instances where the crowd got involved with the umpiring, and umpire Steve McBurney.
I think Thornton on that occasion just tried to push the player away. And as you said, there is a football god, and Steve McBurney, just a bit of comical release there, that was all.
Yes, as you see, we did work hard not to laugh just then. We'll take a break. 24-point lead to Adelaide over Carlton at half-time here at the Telstra Dome.
There's a thing in my pocket. It's the same as other things, but exactly like nothing else. It has an eye and an ear that shares what billions hear and see. It's not a living thing, but if you feed it, it will grow. It can rally the masses. It can silence the crowd. It can speak 1,000 words, but it has no voice. It can find you the places so you can get lost, and it can let others feel what you've just been touched by. There's a thing in my pocket, but it's not one thing, it's many.
Until now, there has been no simple way to compare the different products offered by all the different private health funds. So picking the right one for you has been a nightmare. That's why we've made it compulsory for all health funds to sum up their product information, including the price, in a common format. You can just ask them for a copy. But to make it even easier, we've established an independent website that shows every available private health insurance product from every fund, with a simple search facility that makes it easy to compare all the products that fit your needs. Just go to australia.gov.au and follow the link, or call this number. Private Health Improvements, helping cover Australia's growing health needs. Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
Prepare thyself, moto fans. The freestyle moto stunts you see on M80 are being performed by trained professionals and occasionally actors who play doctors on TV, complete idiots, token hotties, matadors, moto plushies, and of course who could forget dairy cows. Remember, years of training go into each and every M80 episode, so you should in no way attempt anything other than watching. M80, Wednesdays on Fuel TV.
Perfection. Patience. Performance.
Look out. Oh, my goodness.
They've got it all, but who can put it all together when it counts?
That's real good.
The USPGA Tour live on Fox Sports. See the Aussies challenge for golf supremacy in the battle for the $10 million FedEx Cup. The Memorial Tournament tees off Friday morning at 5, live on Fox Sports 1.
Murphy. Good kick. Ackland. Magnificent ball movement. Long kick from Murphy. Inside 50 Waite with the big leap. Gathered the crumb. Handball back. Scotland lines them up and nails it. Unfortunately for Carlton fans, no goals in the second term, and they were 4 goals up, Carlton, about halfway through that opening term, but all of a sudden it was Adelaide after quarter time, and it's the Crows that now lead by 24 points. Tony, Liam Pickering, he was occasionally outplayed during his career, but very, very rarely do you ever see Liam Pickering outdressed. But today is one of those occasions, and he's downstairs with Eddie Betts.
Yeah, certainly am. And Eddie, firstly, how's the hamstring? Gets a lot of Carlton supporters would love to see you out there today.
Yeah, it's a little bit sore, but just trying to work hard and get it better, and look forward to be out there again.
What do you reckon week-wise? How many weeks are we going to be missing?
4 to 5, maybe 6, the doc said. So if I just get it right, 4 to 5. So.
Now, what about this round? How much does it mean to you, the Indigenous round? It's probably disappointing that the injury come at this time as well.
Yeah, no, it's a very important round. As we of course, it's an Indigenous round. I was just looking at Sid Jackson up in the ruins, and he was just talking about how he got taken away from his family and to what he achieved to come out and play over 100 games and play AFL. It's just amazing.
So Dwayne Russell upstairs, he's a big Port Lincoln man. He wants to know about the football factory there. You're actually originally from Port Lincoln as well. Now, were you coached by Graham Johncock's dad?
Yeah, it was Jack Johncock, Jack down there, yeah, down at Mallee Park. We got coached down there. A few boys, Harry Miller, and that they all coached there too. So
there's a lot of good players coming out of Port Lincoln. Now, what about the Indigenous players in general? I mean, you seem to have a fantastic rapport with each other. We always see at the end of matches, we see that the boys are always having a good chat, that sort of thing. But I mean, you do get along well generally.
Yeah, we do get along generally. Even after the games, we catch up sometimes. Some of the boys get around, go for lunch or something. So yeah, it's good.
Just looking at some of the highlights here, Reddy. How excited. You do tend to get excited on the ground. Some of this stuff here the Carlton fans just love, but you do really enjoy your footy.
Yeah, just enjoying it at the moment, and hopefully I can get better.
And what about the Blues this afternoon? Started off very well, good first quarter, and then just dropped away a bit in that second quarter.
Yeah, we just got to keep running from the back, and hopefully we can improve in the second half and get some goals on the board.
Well, I'm sure all the Carlton supporters would be keen to get you back out there pretty quickly. You're a very important player, and I know that you light up the crowd, so good luck, mate.
Yeah, thanks, Ed.
Thanks, Liam. Liam Pickering downstairs with Eddie Betts. And Mallee Park is that football club in Port Lincoln. It's an all-Indigenous club, and Daniel Wells, the Burgoynes, Graham Johncock. There's been a magnificent array of Indigenous talent come from that club, and Graham Johncock's father should take a lot of credit for the players that he's been able to produce through Mallee Park. We'll take a break. Indigenous round continues after the break. The bounce of the ball to start the second half, and it's Adelaide by 24 points over the Blues.
Warning, what you're about to see will get you in the best shape of your life. If you're tired of starving yourself, doing hundreds of ab exercises and spending money on expensive gimmicks and still not seeing results, then get ready for a breakthrough. Introducing the Ab King Pro, designed to give you flat, sexy, rock-hard abs. Look, ordinary machines only give you a 90-degree range of motion, but the Ab King Pro's secret is in its amazing 200-degree range of motion that targets your upper, lower, middle abs and obliques. You'll firm and flatten your stomach in days, not months. Are you tired of starving yourself with shakes, pills and fad diets? Are you tired of struggling for hours in the gym? Then you need to give your abs the royal treatment. Help flatten that stomach and eliminate love handles. Imagine losing inches as you watch TV. Plus, the Ab King Pro gives you 4 levels of resistance. It's perfect for every fitness level and folds for easy storage under your bed.
I feel great. I look down at my stomach. I don't even have a stomach anymore, and I just hop out of bed, look in the mirror, and it's nice just to look down and not see a stomach.
Using the Ab King system, I lost 105 pounds. There's not many words you can say on how happy I am about myself. I feel absolutely great.
Call and the Ab King Pro can be yours on a risk-free home trial for just $19.95. That's right, you can try it in your own home for 30 days and all you pay is $19.95 delivery. We know you'll love the results of the home trial and we'll just charge the balance to your credit card at the end of the trial period. What an offer, but you must call now. Plus, pay in full by credit card and we'll also include our 10-day slim down plan and our 3-minute burnt it up DVD free for ordering right now. Have the flat, sexy abs you've always wanted. Call the number on your screen now and try the Ab King Pro and our amazing in-home trial. You have nothing to lose except the kilos.
Sunday AFL on Fox Sports. Acker's finding his feet and the Doggies want to inflict a mauling at Monica. But the Swans are set on stealing into the top 8 when they descend on the Capital 1 o'clock Sunday. Then 2 and 3 go toe-to-toe. The Cats look to continue their surge to the top. But first they'll have to shut down the power live and active from 4. Sunday AFL on Fox Sports. Western Bulldogs Sydney from 1, followed by Port Adelaide Geelong at 4. All live on Fox Sports 1.
This NRL Sunday, hit the ground running live at 1:30 with the Suncorp pre-game show. Then they beat them in 06 and ground 6. Now Brisbane man the battlements as Newcastle rides in for revenge.
And the Knights are back.
And at 6, the battle of the Big Cats. Penrith return home to a West Tigers welcome. Will it be 6 straight for Sheens? Broncos Knights live at 2. Panthers Tigers at 6. Sunday, all the footy is on Fox Sports.
Well, it's Harry Kewell who's going to go first for the Socceroos for this goal. Australia saved by Swanson. Still need nerves of steel from the spot. Next up is Lucas Neal, who's had a great game. John Aloisi. Oh, great save again by Swanson. Australia. It's Aloisi replacing the World Cup.
Catch up with some old friends. Australia play Uruguay. A special presentation. Free to main event. Channel 518, June 2.
Poor pleasure. Thompson, highest position getter on the ground. But a good game from Scott Thompson again. Goodwin. O'Halpin.
That's a better matchup.
Ackland. Scotland. Lappin. Then forced to jump. And takes the mark, does Lappin. Dishes it off. Houlihan from 50. Wait! He can make it 3 in a row.
This is amazing. There must be a 30-mile-an-hour wind blowing to that end. That's all I can say.
Well, it is a perfect day here. About 21, 22 degrees. Not a breath of wind at all. This is just about attitude, isn't it?
To complete the job. Waite's got 3.
Oh, gee, that was fantastic. Started from a Santano, helping mark in defence, one-hander, and Lappin on the forward 50. And quick handball out to Houlihan, who's had the job on McLeod all day. Wait, I was just wondering where Nathan Bassett is. I didn't like that match-up in the first quarter when they had control. Now he's got twice. He's been clear by about 25 metres. They need to match up a little bit better there, and we'll see what Adelaide can do.
Liam Pickering on the boundary.
I saw what happened then. Nathan Bassett started deep in the goal square on Jared Waite, but as the ball got to half 40, left Waite and went to go and help out. The problem was Lappin took the mark and got it into Waite, who went 30 metres by himself.
Thompson to Shirley. They get the clearance, Adelaide. Saddington. Bock. Kept it in. Kick around the body to Paul Pleasure.
I don't want to go back, but Ackland played a very important role as a midfield receiver. Got smartly just on the wing on the outside of the corridor and sent both of those last goals forward.
Bryce Gibbs has got the matchup on Paul Pleasure. Moved from the wing to the half-back flank.
Kicked 2 goals in the second term, Jason Paul Pleasure. .22-year-old now, 15th game. And to stop the momentum, he's threaded it. He's got 3.
Well, again, they did this in the first quarter too. When they run the pressure, they release the valve a few times by kicking a goal at the right time. Quick kick forward for Pleasure, who's been very, very impressive.
Hasn't he been good?
Since quarter time. And to finish like that, you know, the Blues, they're just going to hang in there. I know that they think they can get back into this game. That just takes the pressure off a little bit, but still a long way to go.
They've lost games this year with big tallies, Carlton. 20 goals and 18 goals, and have lost them. They might need a similar tally this afternoon to get anywhere near winning this one. Kick to half forward. Race on. Fisher content to take it out. 8-5 plays 9-10. And we've played 8 minutes, third term. Carlton bench. Hudson. Straight down to Blackwell. Kudafeti slips over. Scotland did well. He did the shepherding for Kuda and then went and got it. Blackwell wobbles it towards attacking 50. Favola off hands. It would be a miracle from there.
No.
Oh, boy.
No one would understand how he actually meant that, Tony.
Great effort.
McLeod to Goodwin. Doughty. Little fumble. Goodwin. Captain this afternoon. Terrible kick. White. Kicking hasn't been his best asset, but it's on today.
Well, they've hung in strong, Tony, at a time when Carlton came out and threw everything at them, scored quick goals, but they've now steadied the ship, and some of their disposal, midfield into forward, has been absolutely outstanding.
And now Perry's gone into the ruck work now. So with Griffin off the ground, that's the extra player they're going to use around the ground as a ruckman. So kick a goal, go into the centre bounce and have a tap.
Fourteenth goal of the season for Ian Perry, and his reward, do a little bit of ruck work. Had some knee problems last year, and he's forced to ruck with Jonathan Griffin now unable to take his spot in the second half. White gets it from Whitnell towards Favola. Rutten, good contest. Kept it alive though. And the Fev misses.
He's looked dangerous this third quarter.
Yeah, he has. He didn't have much time. He did have a quick look, but he'd normally convert that with ease.
Andrew McLeod entrusted with the kick in.
Man on man now, Carlton at the kick in. So they've gone too early, the Crows.
McLeod gets the call to hurry up. 50 metres, is it?
Yeah, because he encroached over 5 minutes, but he'd actually raised his arms, I think. The player had a right to go forward on the basis he was calling the
Didn't he blow his whistle to say play on?
McLeod caught. Got the handball out to Madden. John Cott. Did enough.
Held it long enough.
You can tell he's had 6 weeks out.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Just a little rusty. Edwards the target. Thumb clear of him. Doughty. Van Berlo. Bryce Gibbs. Sold the dummy beautifully to Cade Simpson. Straight down the corridor to the goal square. Favola's leading back there. Can't get a fly out of it. Over the top. Wait!
That's the matchup. That's the matchup. They have to isolate as much as they can. Great call, Dwayne.
Beautiful work by Gibbs to get it across to Simpson. Terrific kick in, and Wade had a good look around, said, am I going to interfere with Favola? No, this is mine.
Look at that for a standing leap, Dave.
Oh, what an athlete. We've seen that twice, once in the air and once on the ground today.
To be the biggest goal scorer in the game with 4. It's there. They're coming again.
Well, they say a bit about father, sons and breeding in football. You remember Vinnie Waite. Now, Vinnie was a dour, hard, tough full-back, and his son's got some athleticism. It might be on the mother's side.
Must be.
But what a great leap. You can see that standing jump. That's about a 3.5-foot standing jump. And Bassett, the worst part was, at the end of the mark, he just drove his head into the ground. He didn't mean it. Didn't have great athleticism. That's what we come to see in our game of football.
Father Vin, 153 games, including the 70 and 72 premierships. Also wore the number 30. And his son providing some inspiration with 3 goals in this term and 4 for the game. We'll get another ball up.
It's on Carazzo and Edwards at that centre. Here they are. Have a look. They've been going at it all day. Edwards moves away.
It's been good, hasn't it? Been a great contest. The Carazzo has become a real good player, I reckon.
252 gamer against the 50 gamer.
Oh, well
it's
done.
good head-to-head. Whitnell. Walker, Scotland. High bomb. Favola and Lappin over the top. Couldn't mark it. McLeod. Shirley. It's a good game at the moment. It's lifted a cog. The Blues especially have. McLeod gets it back again. Edwards. Half back. 83 plays 70. Into time on. Third term.
Okay, kick from Tyson Edwards.
Bryce Gibbs gets back.
I think Carazzo's got into Tyson's head. He's just lost the plot at the moment. Wants to fight.
Murphy. Lance Whitnell has got 2 to beat here, Lance. Almost beats them, does beat them both. Shrugs the tackle, gets the kick away. Kennedy, can he gather it? Yes!
Oh, good mark, son.
That's a great call, Tony, because I thought Kennedy hadn't read it all that well. Got too far past the ball. The long arms went out and raked it in. Terrific effort by Whitnell to get through and out of that to give him the chance. But what a... the kid's done a remarkable job to regain the ball.
Comes from great sporting stock. As I've mentioned, Father Jamie played NBL for the Canberra Cannons and his mother played in the WNBL. So maybe throwing was better than their kicking. He's kicked it out of bounds on the foot. He actually lived with Andrew Gaze when he first came over to Melbourne from Western Australia. Now, I don't know if Andrew Gaze knows much about kicking either.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't.
Doughty wide to Rutten. 83 plays 70. 4 minutes from three-quarter time. Out of bounds on the full. Big opportunity now for the Blues. Lappin, can't mark. Joe Anderson, good tackle. Rutten also tackled well. Tawney, boundary line, but the kick away. Free kick against Lappin.
Oh, trip is
reported. But he didn't make contact with the trip. That's the amazing thing. Umpire Matthew Head.
Attempted trip.
Well, he stuck the leg out, but there was no contact. You can't report that. You cannot.
It looked like he just changed direction also.
Just a bit wrong-footed, wasn't he?
No, they're doing a good job, Dave. Come on. Let's be positive. This game's really lifted now. And look at the huddle now. What's happened? Adelaide are huddling back at the half-back flank area. And Carlton have got outriders. You can see it all there. Great camera work from our boys just to pick that up. And there's a free kick off the ball. And it's going to Adelaide because someone, a Carlton player, dumped one of those players from that setup.
The natives are restless here. The crowd getting into it. Letting Matthew Head know exactly what they think. Liam Pickering, what's it like down there?
Yeah, they are getting a bit testy here, the Carlton fans. And fair enough. I mean, if that was a report, gee whiz, what's going on with that?
Shirley, given the way we're playing the game now, that's an appropriate name, perhaps. Edwards.
Well, the thing is that a report like that during a game can get into the head of a player, and I think that's unfair.
So Bock will line up a goal to the Boos. Not his fault.
They've got to concentrate here, Carlton. They've had a good quarter so far. They can go in at three-quarter time with not a big margin to look at and still a chance in this game. You don't want to fall away and let the crowd suck you in. Even though they're booing for your sake, you've got to concentrate. No undisciplined acts now.
He's got one. Nathan Bock.
Let me say, if he kicks this, I think they'll boo, Dwayne.
They're winding up for it.
It's coming back. Oh, post. All the Carlton fans, about 30,000 of them blew that into the post.
No, you talked about the football gods today, Dwayne. You got it right today. Don't worry about that.
Well, it's a long journey for them down to Launceston, where the other game is being played. Closer to the home of football in Melbourne. 2 minutes to three-quarter time. Scotland wide. Bryce Gibbs. He sends it wider. Fly up. Walker the crumb. Whitnell inside 50. Wait! Again to line up for number 5.
Well, they've made the change. They've gone with, I don't know whether Rutten got caught out of position, but
I think you might have made the change.
They made that change. Rutten's gone to Waite because Waite had really had it over Bassett. And now we just read this beautifully as Rutten got to the front position, lost the body. He's having the impact. He's the man.
He's got 3 for the quarter so far. Oh, still got 3.
And I guess the potency for the future is that if you've got that athleticism and you've got that marking ability, sure he's been doing, as you suggested before the game, a great job at centre-half-back. But you might be able to find a centre-half-back a lot easier than you can find a marking forward like that.
Andrew McLeod. More Boos. Kicks in. Lappin with the spoil. Knocked it away from Doughty.
Well done, Lappin.
Cade Simpson. Doughty's got him. Magnificent battle to watch.
isn't he? He's a great player in terms of his leap, but without giving a free kick in the front there, Lappin got up and caused a spillage of the mark, and now a contest again. He's been a terrific player over a long period, Lappin.
Yes, All-Australian back in 2004. It was his best year at the club. Third in the best and fairest that year. Quick kick away to half forward. And Mackler gets back. Takes the mark.
You might know, Dwayne, but Cade Simpson, I think he finished very high up in their best and fairest last year at Carlton.
I'll check that out
for you,
in the top
5 or 6.
I think even higher than that.
Yeah, he's become a very good player. Gee, they've struggled to get it out of their defence, haven't they now?
Hand kick smothered, but Rutten gets it back again. Favola, hand on it. Dying seconds of the third term. The Fev to Kuda to Carazzo. He's got a couple of options wide. Ackland. Simpson's over the top. Inside 50 to Fisher. Can't mark. Kuda almost leg. Spins it around and goals. You've got to love him.
Kuda by the meetings. Wow, that's going back 10 years.
That's lovely to see.
Isn't that just brilliant? In the front and centre. I think we're all getting excited because this game has just had, each quarter's had a different story, and again it's happened the Carlton way. They switched the play here. I tell you what, Ackland's been important. Not his tap work's been good, but the setup. And look at this front and centre at your toenails for a bloke who's getting close to the end of his career. Great finish.
I mentioned his 270th game. Well, this is earlier, but only Craig Bradley, Bruce Dool, John Nichols, Stephen Silvani and Justin Madden have played more games for the Carlton Footy Club than Anthony Koutafidis. He is one of the all-time greats. And he's turning it on again. Poor Pleasure in the dying seconds to half forward. Bryce Gibbs gets back. Carazzo. Wide ball. Cade Simpson, fourth in the best and fairest last year, by the way, Tony. Gathers it on the wing. Sidesteps. They need a mark. Ackland took it, but the siren sounded.
Oh, it's on there too, Tawny.
Big last turn coming up here at the Dome. The crowd don't know where to look. They want to cheer Koutafidis. They want to boo Steve McBurney. They want to rise as one. And Adelaide still lead. They're still the ones with their noses in front at the last turn. Three-quarter time here at the Dome. And it's Adelaide 12-12. Carlton 11-11.
Stop everything! Harvey Norman's massive computer and printer clear out ends this weekend. Last chance to grab stunning price cuts in store. Compact Vista notebook slashed to just $747 after $100 cashback. Slice over $250 off this Acer notebook with dedicated graphics. Now $1298 after $149 cashback. NEC desktop with 17-inch screen sacrificed to $798. We're clearing printers. Receive up to 25% off HP printers and multifunctions. Buy now on 32 months, no deposit, no interest until 2010. But hurry, computer and printer clear out ends this weekend.
There is one card that lets you spend your own cash over the counter. It's how millions of Australians spend their cash every day. Visa Debit Card.
Something's coming.
What?
Listen and learn. Turbocharged, direct injected, dynamic stability and traction control, sports car.
The all-new Mazda CX-7. Everything you love about a sports car and an SUV has come together. CX-7, the perfect reason to cross over to
Superbike World Championship from Great Britain, 8:30 Sunday night, live on Fox Sports 3. In Monza, the locals' dream came true.
The crowd will go nuts!
As the Yamaha Italia team with Japan's Noriyuki Haga on board produced the season's first double.
What a race for Nitro Nori!
And celebrated in true Italian style. Now, see who slips or sticks at Silverstone, the Superbike World Championship from Great Britain, 8:30 Sunday night, live on Fox Sports 3.
In a major new series on BBC World.
We asked people what happiness meant to them, and the results back up the science. How much money you've got is much less important than how many friends you've got.
Find out more in the happiness formula. And what about you? Log on to bbcworld.com/happiness to discover how happy you are.
What do you do when the Warriors are coming for you? Fight or flight? Find out Monday night.
Get a bit of that in there!
They bag the Cowboys. Now the electrifying Eels welcome the Warriors for the first Monday night football clash in the wild, wild West.
Don't go anywhere!
Pre-game show at 6, kick-off live from Parramatta Stadium at 7. The Eels take on the New Zealand Warriors in a Monday night football exclusive live where you live on Fox Sports 3.
Dying seconds of the third term. The Fev to Kuda to Carazzo. He's got a couple of options wide. Ackland. Simpson's over the top. Inside 50 to Fisher. Can't mark. Kuda almost leg. Spins it around and goals. You've got to love him. You have got to love him. Anthony Kourtafidis with the Greek Prime Minister in town here in Melbourne this week. Surely she's here to see the great man go around. 11-11-77 to 12-12-84 at three-quarter time here at the Dome. Wait, 4 goals for the Blues, 3 of them in the third term. Jericho and Pleasure, 3 goals each for Adelaide. It's going to be a big last term coming up. The Adelaide Crows pushing for second spot on the AFL ladder if they win today, whereas Carlton trying to get back in the hunt for a spot in the finals.
Now, if it goes to plan, that you would think the Adelaide Crows should kick 6 goals to 1 in this quarter and win the game. That's the way it's gone every quarter. But gee, the big stat there, David, was Carlton 18-9 inside 50.
And that wasn't as significant in the first or the second quarters. Inside 50s were not exactly the same, but within reach of each other. That is an absolute dominance. Maybe, Tony, in retrospect, they might have got a better result. There weren't too many that missed and opportunities created. I thought that, well, that was a whitewash in a sense. So, look, and who's going to run it out better? I thought
Adelaide have got a few players on the done.
They've got 5 or 6 who haven't had the football that maybe all of the Carlton Blakes have.
Dennis Pagan has spoken to his men. Neil Craig has just walked away from the Crows, and David Noble, assistant coach with Adelaide, is with Liam Pickering.
They keep coming, the Blues at the moment.
They are very good. You know, they're contested ball that quarter, and that's what we've got to do. We've got to pick up, particularly the ground ball. We reckon that contest ball that spills, we're not good at it at the moment.
And it looks like the breeze has actually picked up, and it really feels like you might have the advantage of a strong breeze in the last quarter.
Yeah, well, hopefully so. And look, just our use by foot's got to be really important. So contest the ball, use the ball, but we've got to win the game. We can't allow them to make mistakes and then pounce on that. It won't work.
Good luck.
Thanks.
A breeze.
Oh, it's only been facetious when I said the breeze. They've obviously opened the gate at the locket end.
7-point lead to Adelaide. Carlton has led by as much as 4 goals. Adelaide has led by as much as 4 goals. Ball up. Hudson tried to rip it out of the air. Goodwin, Van Berlo, Knights. Torpedo inside 50. Thornton with the punch. Bryce Gibbs. Wide. Cade Simpson. Good commitment. Thought about Walker, goes short to Murphy, and he gives to Walker from the wing. Wobbly ball. Whitnall's there and takes the mark.
Well, it all started from half-back. Just Bryce Gibbs, I can see him playing a lot of football across half-back with his poise and his foot skills.
He could cut the margin back to a point. Doesn't go for goal. Short pass. Not 15. Walker, left foot kick across the face. Mark to Fisher. It's worked out okay.
I'll tell you what, Fisher against Matner, and also we're talking about Waite against Bassett. They've been the two to go to. Fev hasn't had a great day. He's had a good third quarter, but gee, they've got some mismatches in their forward line defence at the moment, Adelaide.
He's got one. He's missed a couple. It's a one-point ball game.
Well, there's one key person in that, Whitnall. I was very pleased. It was an awkward pick coming in. He read it again quicker than his opponent did. Took a very easy chest mark to finish. If he were to get up, his delivery in, that was a bit of a suspect call. I would have thought most times that would have been accorded to 15 metres. And Walker is doing a bit better, I reckon, on Goodwin. I reckon he's been a little bit better in the last 20 minutes.
84 plays 83. Adelaide a ruckman down. Jonathan Griffin on the bench with an ankle sprain. Hudson to do it all himself. Goodwin, no free for in the back. Walker, Simpson. He's been magnificent. Murphy. Chips the kick. Koutafidis. Lee comes to the pocket. Just a high bomb. No holding free. Waite. Sold the dummy. Lined it up and missed. Did the hard work.
Did he what? And no doubt about a free kick to Whitnall. I think it was Whitnall.
Yeah, you're right.
One hand was held in the contest. Let's have a look. See if he was doing. Oh, you've got to pay a free kick for that. They say chopping the arm's a free kick.
Scores are level. McLeod from fullback. Hudson and Ackland. Hudson. Strong hands. Riley. Inside 50. Bock. Little nudge. Thornton. Little kick wide towards Scotland. Bryce Gibbs tells him to go. Peels off. Good tackle by Van Berlo. Rewarded.
He's Scotland.
First choice, best choice, Tony. First choice was on to Whitnall.
Quick fire handball to Riley. Sends it along to the goal square. Welsh is down there. Gets the fly. Koutafidis helping out in defence. Edwards comes hard. Handball around Walker. Goodwin back to Edwards. Walker didn't follow up. Luckily Bentic did. Bentic to Carazzo. Ackland. Murphy. Lapping the target. Back of the pack. Houlihan. Lead from Favola in his direction. Hasn't got it. Plays for the free. Didn't get that either. Stevens. Didn't want to rush her behind. Scores a level. Matner. Van Berlo. Spearing kick. Thompson couldn't collect it. Kuda does. White.
Quick hands.
Thought about Scotland. Little fumble. Pokes it to Houlihan. He can give them the lead.
He's been great today, Wade. I mean, some of his decision-making as well as the finishing part. I thought he was a good athlete. Not sure about the football part of it, but he's showing us today he can play.
And he picks this up, and watch how he sells the dummy here. And that's right. That's what you're saying there. Just the awareness that he might have been smothered, and then to use the ball so well to Houlihan. Normally a very good kick, Dwayne.
Oh, big kick. Carlton had the choice of Ben Johnson, Cameron Bruce, Robert Shirley in the draft at pick 73 back in 1999. They took Ryan Houlihan. Game number 145. And he misses.
What's been terrific today has been Koutafidis' remarkable work at crumbing difficult balls around his feet. It's been terrific.
He might be one of these players, Dave, who you think every month he needs a week off just to keep him, you know, because at the age of the years, if you can keep him up to this level, you'll be very, very happy.
Doughty, McLeod. Adelaide Crows trail now for the first time in quite a while. Van Berlo takes on Murphy. Thompson the target. Got it. Well read. Kuda argues. Thompson runs on. Has the shot from 48. Welsh. Can't mark. Off hands. Carlton with numbers back. Bob Pleasure fights on. Bryce Gibbs over the top. Ackland with the clever toe poke. Shirley.
Great tackle.
Bentic's tackle as good as you ever want to see. Ties it up. Ball up.
And good umpiring.
I was going to say, and he got it right that time.
There's no way Noni could get rid of that. But well done by both parts.
Hudson down to Koutafidis. Kate Simpson, uncharacteristic fumble. Shirley held up.
I try to convince people over the years that Koutafidis is almost the best stoppage player that I've coached. People think Williams and Bradley and Ratton and those. This bloke is sensational in close.
Good crowd in here at the Dome. Hudson from the ruck contest stumps it back to get space. Scotland. It's all about the kick now. It's a wobbler.
Oh, not
Jericho's about to pounce. Houlihan's coming to make a contest.
Well done.
Magnificent from Houlihan. O'Halpin. Long towards half forward to Favola. Bassett. Waite. Houlihan followed up. Waite again. Chip kick terrible off hands. Knights. Adelaide on the rebound. Long kick. Welsh inside 50. Thornton spoiled good but bad. It's down to Jericho. Gets the snap away. Scores a level again.
Oh, this has got everything, this game, hasn't it?
He looked a tight kick in the finish from Waite, Tony.
Well, he should be tight. He's done it all today.
That's true, he has too.
Kick finds Ackland. Bryce Gibbs.
Now that's why you play him across half-back. Just the poise.
He's a playmaker, isn't he? Great decision.
Simpson to Scotland.
Good running.
Nice hands.
Oh, he's got to get up. Walker's on.
And he hits Walker with the kick. The lead's come. He can go all the way. He can give the Blues the lead. Centering ball. Waite. Didn't hold it long enough. Matner. They could have the lead. They might now concede it. Rutten with some space to Matner. Jericho calls long. Short to Thompson. Now Matner. Thompson. 60 from goal. Lead back to the goal square. Welsh. Adelaide Crows will be in front.
Well, Andrew Walker, you've got to go all the way, take it upon yourself to kick a goal or know that you want someone to lead. And he was in between. Didn't make the distance. And then the rebound. You know, you've got to be more definitive about what you're going to do with the football.
Just his 6th possession, Scott Welsh. And his 2nd goal. Adelaide back in front.
Well, you're right, Anthony, to actually get the opportunity. And he worked hard to get inside 50 and had his head over the ball. I know he hasn't been a great finisher. He probably got spooked a bit at the finish. Waite came reasonably hard at the last minute. Maybe could have held on it, but the ball was kicked a little high. What should have been a score, a goal, is now rebounded. Technically, you called it. Cost them a goal. It's 2 that's cost them. The one they should have got and the one the opposition got.
Not over yet. Carlton's already come from 4 goals down once to hit the lead in this game. 91 plays 85. And don't forget, they're 1 ruckman down. Jonathan Griffin won't take any part in this final term for Adelaide. Hudson to do it all, and he'll have to do it again now.
Well, it's tough inside at the moment. There's everybody giving everything.
There's Griffin on the bench. Very talented player.
Yes, 3rd year on the Adelaide list. They just had him hibernating on the rookie list and with Central Districts. Adelaide with the takeaway, but it's too wide for Bock. Saddington, nice kick. Walker trying to make amends for his error earlier. Handball over the top to Bentic. Short. Murphy. Long. Almost Fisher. Couldn't take the mark. Off hands. Stevens. He's over it. It's dragged back under him. Rutten. Tawney. Matner.
They're under the pump there.
Tawney. To Lappin. The turnover. The shot at goal. Across the face. And it may be out of bounds on the full.
Well, that's a better result for Carlton now.
No, it's touched the line.
There are 2 up of our seat. They'll be 30 seconds later. Dwayne will be out of his seat too.
Hudson and Ackland. Goodwin. Knights.
Great hands.
McLeod. Perry's just off the bench. He was ignored. O'Halpin couldn't take the mark. Thornton.
Fev's on.
Blackwell. Didn't see the Fev. Sends it longer. Lappin might be forced to leap here. Plucked beautifully by Tawney.
Oh, the Fed was on inside 50 by himself.
Knights made it tough for Doughty. Shirley. 91 plays 85 to Magna. The Crows lead. Ball shot wide to Thompson. They're playing with poise. Perry just off the bench, as I said. Fresh legs. Doughty. Well short. He's got it. He's a low possession killer.
Yeah, it was a difficult one. Feb was out there, you're right, was out there for a long time. He was very wide. You would have thought it was within the vision of a player that we've wrapped all day for making good decisions, having the sort of vision required. So that's been a costly decision not to kick it out to Favola.
And Santana Halpern coming from the ground. Hasn't had a great day today. They've gone through his man on a number of occasions.
7th possession for Scott Welsh. Likes it off the boot. He's got 3. 2 of them in the final term. They lead by 2.
Well, the last 2 times that they've come forward, Carl, they've had opportunities. It's been a lack of awareness, a lack of vision. And you do that when you get tired also, David. You know that comes into play. With this man, you are right, Dwayne. He doesn't need the ball a lot to have an impact on a game. He's had a very, very good career. He's been dogged with injuries over the last 2 or 3 seasons. But you know he's a beautiful kick at goal and showed it again then. Still in this, the Blues, but they need to make the most of their forward forays.
3 goals now for Scott Welsh. He's Adelaide's man behind the grassy knoll. Wasn't even there for the first 3 quarters. And Kurtafidis trying to keep Carlton alive. Wide ball, John Cock, off hands. Carazzo got the kick away. Good tackle, Shirley.
The umpire didn't see it. The umpire didn't see it.
Okay. I'm biased, I know, but he did kick. He was tackled and he got the ball into his boot.
You're not biased. You've just got a great love for the club, that's all.
Shirley wide. Thompson, Scotland, Thompson. He's got Knights peeling off. Lewis Ackland. Knights goes long from 50. Long, offline. Behind.
Now that's a fair point.
We started to argue about who could run better, but I think at the moment you'd say Adelaide were just covering the ground a bit harder, a bit more often.
Well, Carlton's been overrun a few times this year. Little push in the back from Walker. Free kick Hudson. Make that a free handball. Thompson. Welsh inside 50 again. Welsh jumps, can't mark. McLeod playing in defence all day, now up forward. Knights almost handed it off. Good tackle. Tackle rewarded.
Advantage played. They're out here now.
Scotland, Whitnell. Inside 10 minutes to full time. Scotland.
He's been terrific.
Ackland the target. Tried to knock it on. Doughty. Down to Goodwin. Long and high. Welsh out of the contest. Jericho. He knocks it down to Welsh. Handball to Perry. Gone. Tackle of the day.
It's not over.
The first gamer, Adam Hartlett, has hardly seen it. And what a time to pull this tackle out.
Magnificent rundown. Ian Perry not the quickest man, but he thought he was over nose there for a goal.
Adam Hartlett was drafted after Dennis Pagan saw him kick 7 goals and a half of under-19s football in Adelaide. He kicked 8 that day. I'm not sure he laid a tackle though. Long kick to half forward, Simpson. That could have been a game winner. Simpson sends it long in the Favola direction. 1-on-1, Bassett. That's why it was all Australian last year. Rutten. In fact, it was Hudson, Edwards, Van Berlo. Rutten. Pokes it towards half forward. Jericho. Off hands.
Too high.
Free kick to Bentic. Still time.
Trude's out the other side of the ground. He hasn't seen him yet.
Sends it along. Just hoping for a big mark. Adelaide with numbers back. Goodwin the crumb. John Cock. Through traffic. Thompson, John Cock. Poise. Long kick in the Welsh direction. Can't get there to attempt a mark. Slaps it. First gamer again, Hartlett. Gibbs. Simpson. Not far from giving this away, the Blues. High kick, Fisher forced to double back. Lays the spoil on Matner, but he collects the crumb.
Not a good kick. Not a good kick, Mark.
Mark's been paid. Martin Matner. John Cock. 7 minutes to full time. Knights, Bryce Gibbs, magnificent punch. And every game in his debut season, Bryce Gibbs, been a magnificent pickup. His father, Ross, 256 SANFL games for Glenelg. And can you believe that? Not enough for Bryce Gibbs to qualify for Adelaide under the father-son rule. And yet Lance Whitnell qualified under father-son, and his dad played only 66 for Carlton. Simpson to Scotland. And it comes back to Murphy.
Gee, Gibbs is on in the middle here. They're just not looking around quickly enough, the Blues.
Walker takes them on. Fisher inside 50. Matner. Too good.
Well, it's 2 in a row. You wouldn't have picked that early. The kick didn't advantage him at all, but he's done well, Matner.
Jericho can hold it up. They're not going to run the clock down by the looks of things, Adelaide. Play on and run it right out. Knights got it from Doughty. Gives it to Stevens. He can hold it up. Liam.
Yeah, down here, you can just see the poise of the Adelaide and the experience of the Adelaide Crows players. I just used the footy, as I say that, of course, turn it over.
Carlton fans are thanking you, Liam. We'll get a ball up.
It always happens, Liam. Don't worry about that.
We might get a ball up.
You give him a rap. It could be goal kicking. It doesn't matter.
Dennis Pagan. Some big names there. Kernahan, Danaher, Bradley, Krasiska. From the ball up. Knights again. Doughty, Goodman. Just got class wherever you look. Sends it long inside 50. High ball. Welsh! From the grassy knoll again.
There's always going to be a bigger ask on young Hartlett going back. I was a bit concerned about that. He did well, did a couple of terrific things as a lead up to this, but his body strength was never, ever going to be able to cope.
Well, they're taking Fisher off the ground. I thought the last 2 kicks to Fisher weren't to his advantage, but you've got to win the contest.
True, that's true.
To make it 4 goals from 9 possessions. 3 goals in the final term. The match winner.
Well, he has been consistent that way. He's never been an 8 or 9 goal kicker in his career, but he's just been a 3 or 4 goal kicker with minimal amount of possession. He seems to get the job done as a leading forward should.
Well, he's a dangerous player because he can mark above his head and he works the ground laterally. He goes sideways a lot and loses his opponent. Hartlett, a big ass, but O'Halpin hadn't done the job, so you've probably got to go with him, Dennis Pagan.
4 goals in the last half, 3 goals in the final term for Scott Welsh. 85 to 104. Simpson hasn't stopped trying all day to half forward. Bassett missed it. Favola got it. Couldn't find the target with the handball. Carazzo tried to lay the tackle. Thompson, Favola's got him. He's yelling ball. He gets nothing.
So our bigger bodies help too. We're worried about the Adelaide run, but when you've had a contest as hard as this, and you're going to get it, you're getting more contested ball like this, a ball up. The strong bodies of Adelaide have stood out in the last quarter.
Agreed.
Inside 5 minutes to full time. Holding the ball against Scotland. Doughty. 8th season, Michael Doughty. Poise when it counts. To Hudson. 28 years of age and yet young in football terms. Ben Hudson, game number 42. And back again to Doughty. Portpleasure. 3 goals this afternoon for Jason Portpleasure. 2 of them in the second term when Carlton came from 4 goals down to take a 4-goal lead. McLeod on Indigenous weekend to put the full stop on it. Inside 50, Welsh had it stolen from him by Perry. Back inboard, Riley or Van Berlo. Van Berlo runs in, straight into Hartlett, got it back, Welsh might as well make it 5.
And
missed it. $20-point margin. And the umpires found something. Coming back to Lappin.
Another ball on the ground. Well, now you've got to know the stage of the game. Kickings like this, you just got to nearly stay in the corridor, just take a risk.
Saddington, hold the mark.
Got to play on, take some risk now.
20 points, 3.5 minutes. They've been overrun yet again, Carlton, this afternoon. Carrazzo in game number 50. Comes from big stage stock. His father knows what it's like to play on the big stage. He was Daryl Summers' trumpet player on Hey Hey It's Saturday for years. Andrew Carrazzo's dad. And now here he is on telly as well.
Oh, you are good, Dwayne.
Well, he can trumpet
I was waiting for an Olympic gold medalist or a better trumpet player. Beautiful.
From the ball in. Lappin. Houlihan. Tucked up against the boundary. Keeps it alive. Doughty tried to get a slap on it. Koutafidis. Handball out. It's a trick. And you would think a report too, given the other report for Lappin. Free kick to Blackwell.
Oh, and as he hurt his leg, I tell you, remember what happened to Nigel Lappin?
Yeah.
When he was caught to miss 3 weeks or 4 weeks, and
Luke Hodge wasn't even reported.
No, wasn't it? Nothing came. Let's have a look here.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. They will look at that. And he'd be unlucky. I think it's Marty Matner, but Luke Hodge wasn't reported. Very similar incident.
Well,
and that will be
a lot more serious than the one that was knocked off earlier in the game, wasn't it?
Yes, no doubt.
Another father-son in the Carlton lineup, Luke Blackwell. Wayne, of course, 110 games. And it's across the face. Only a behind. Hasn't been a lot of luck in that number 13 in the last few years. Adam Chatfield and Justin Davies have been the men who've worn it.
He'll be changing his Guernsey next year, don't worry.
Although Mill Hannah had some luck in it.
That's true.
Need a bit of Mill to rub off. 105 to 86. It's been a good contest again from Carlton, but again, they don't get the points. And Adelaide will be second on the ladder tonight. Without fanfare, they're a contender again. Some big names out, Rashudo and Biglands. Hencher won't play again this year, but Bode and McGregor. Maybe Bode back to the finals, and Brett Burton, of course. Even Ivan Maric not playing, and he'd almost be in the best 22 for Adelaide. But these guys have stepped up. Portlesia.
Jericho's been good.
Yeah. Inside 2 minutes.
Free kick.
Against Tawney to Blackwell. Whitnell to half forward. Simpson, one of Carlton's best. Houlihan. Joe Anderson. And he gets a free. Joe Anderson, he's never kicked the goal. And he might be just beyond his range here. Won Darwin Senior Best and Fairest last year. And he just pokes it high towards Favola. Got a push.
Don't know where the hands in the back rule's gone, Dwight. It's late in the game now.
Matner, Doughty, John Cock. Even the crowd can't be bothered arguing.
No.
Yeah, they would have called for it in the first term. Welsh, what a star he's been. 3 goals in the final term. O'Halpin. Scotland. Lappin, forced to fly from 4 deep. Goodwin left it for Bock. Down lending a hand in defence. And as you mentioned, Jericho's been one of the stars. It's game number 23 for him in his 5th season at the club. Short to John Cock. Good to see him back from injury. 6 weeks out with the ankle. Van Berlo, who turns 21 next month, still very young.
I'll tell you the person Carlton missed though, Eddie Betts, their ground level. They've done it in the air a fair bit today, but their ground level plumbing work, he just excites them. Now they'll just share the ball around Adelaide.
And Nick Stevens, of course, they've missed him big time. But it's Adelaide's afternoon at the Dome. The travel across the border for those fans has been well and truly worth it. Early in the game, they were 4 goals behind Adelaide. It was all Carlton. The Blues kicked 5 goals to 2 in the opening quarter. But once again, they've been overrun. Adelaide 15-15, 105 to Carlton 12-14, 86.
Well, they get the job done, don't they, Dave? I don't know whether they played to their best of their ability today. They were tested a number of times. There's young Griffin going off with looked like an ankle injury, maybe ligaments there, but he is a talented player. They are just a well-drilled, disciplined team, Adelaide. And under pressure, they know just how to release the valve and also just to hold up the game to suit them.
Well, they wouldn't want the game to start the way it did. They were well down. They had the initiative totally taken from them. But Goodwin and Shirley inside, started to do the job. Van Buren and a few others on the outside.
And the older than you, the Indigenous boys, Andrew McLeod, one of the greats of all time, with Joe Anderson in the middle of the ground. Andrew McLeod, of course, his mum, Marie, from the Indigenous population in the Northern Territory, and his father, Jogs, a Scotsman, Andrew McLeod, and Joe Anderson, young player down from Darwin. And they've got some passion about the way they play their footy, and it's great that the AFL is honouring them this weekend. Liam Pickering.
This is down here with Scotty Welsh. Scotty, pretty quiet first.